Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, and it's a good day, and I hope it's good for you. And here to make another video. I mentioned yesterday that after I make the video each day, I spend most of the day considering the content for the next one. And all day yesterday, nothing was coming to me. And I was beginning to wonder if I was even going to make one today. But then, on the way home from work again, it started to become evident as to why nothing was coming to me. And it's because I'm coming to the place where I'm going to have to start making some statements that people are going to be tempted to contest. And I would prefer that people actually contest what I say rather than allow the things that I say to create a rift between us. Later that night, it occurred to me also that Richard himself made a video a couple years back where he was encouraging people to say controversial things. That is what the world needs. The world needs people who are willing to say things that will make people uncomfortable, make them think, and cause them to consider a different way. So that's what's going to be happening here. And before getting into that, though, I'll share a little tidbit with you that I learned recently about hex, and that is when I deposit my dollars to exchange for cryptos, particularly Ethereum, I use an app called Abra on my phone. And when you do make a cash deposit and transfer that into Abra, it's actually stored on Abra as what is called TUSD, which is a $1 stablecoin. And in Uniswap, there's a choice for your input currency to be the TUSD. And you can also opt to have TUSD exist in your MetaMask account also. So by setting that up, I transferred TUSD directly from Abra into MetaMask, which I could now use to buy Hex directly on Uniswap for a dollar amount. Instead of exchanging it, using Ethereum to exchange for Hex, I could just display the Hex price in dollars. So say, if I want to know what $10 worth of Hex would buy me, I just select the TUSD in Uniswap, enter the amount, and that tells me the dollar equivalent of Hex that I can buy. So that's just really neat for accounting purposes. That way you're not having to do the extra step of acquiring Ethereum and working with all the decimals to determine, how much dollars you're spending. So that's just a neat little feature that I learned. But getting back into the more serious things, I started talking yesterday about the swindle that's going on in this world, the swindle surrounding property. And I realized once I started talking about that in order to really expose it properly so that people can see it and determine if they would not want to participate in that anymore and consider a different way, people need to understand the basics about being a human being. And this is something that is easy to assume when you are one, but just because you are a human doesn't necessarily you understand what it means to be a human. And essentially, the human is made up of three components: the body, the soul, and the spirit. Now, that statement may not rub too well with people who are materialists or empiricists, but you're just going to have to bear with me or stop watching. But the body is a fairly easy mechanism to understand because you can see it in the mirror, you can take it apart and look at it. The soul's a little more tricky. The soul is basically the seat of our emotions, our intellect, and our will. And then our spirit is simply a term to describe the source of our motivations. I'm not talking about some other being that resides inside of us. I'm referring specifically to our motives. And there are two distinct motivations that a human can have. One is love, and the other is fear. And these things are often defined as being emotions. And while it is true that these things can be experienced emotionally, they are not defined as emotions. They are motivators. And the controversial thing to be said about this is that one of the biggest lies that's ever been told, I consider it the second biggest lie that's ever been told, is the one regarding free will. And free will basically says that the will is the most supreme faculty of a human, and therefore everything is subject to the will. And the reason that's a lie, that's not true, is because our spirit is the supreme faculty of man. Whatever your spirit is, your will is going to operate in conjunction with that spirit. If you're motivated by fear, then you will express your will in relationship to your fear. This is why people will do things that they know they shouldn't do, but they do anyway. It's because of their motivation. This is also why people will do practically anything for money. Because when people are afraid of running out of money, or they'll starve to death, or they'll be homeless, then money will motivate them to do things that they know they shouldn't do, regardless of what their will is. So, this will be applied in more detail when talking about the swindle, because there are people who understand these things and they use it to their profit and to their benefit. And anyway, I think I'm going to stop here for the time being, because for me to go into this in any more detail would require several more minutes of extrapolation that I just am not available to do right now, and you all may have heard enough already, so to spare you having to listen to my voice any longer, I'm going to go. So I hope you all have a great day. I'm looking forward to the big payday and getting to meet some of you in Miami. I think that's going to be an awesome trip, and mad gains for everyone, and that's that. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.